Hi everyone, in today's video I wanted to talk to you about saving your projects in Logic Pro 10 and how exactly we do that. It's really easy, just come straight up to File in the top left, down to Save, and you can click Save or Save As if you want to save a different project name. If it's the first time that you're saving your projects, Logic is going to ask you, give this file a name and where on your computer you want to save it, and that's all there is to it, really. Now the shortcut for saving is Command S, and I definitely encourage you all to use shortcuts in Logic, just because it really speeds up your workflow, and using a shortcut instead of going all the way into the file like this, I feel keeps you in that creative kind of zone. And I suppose the second thing I wanted to talk to you about was getting into this kind of habitual saving. Now, what do I mean by this? So, what I mean is getting into the habit of, saving more frequently. So, saving your projects more frequently. And now this is really a kind of a fail-safe kind of idea. So, should some horrible catastrophe happen, like the electric goes out or the roof caves in, some ridiculous scenario. The point being that if you've saved your file, several times during the project, you're less likely to lose something if something like your computer shutting down, randomly happened. So I think it's a good practice to have to get yourself into this kind of regular saving idea, and I think using the shortcut is definitely a help in that. So the second main thing I wanted to talk to you about was actually the idea of creating alternatives, so alternative save files. Now, one idea of this is that, and if we take this project here that I've got as an example, if we, if I decided that, everything from about here to the end of the file, so all of this, I wasn't too pleased with it, I'm just going to redo it, and so I just go ahead and I click delete and erase everything that I've done, so that I can input different things. You might be tempted to do that in one file, but you don't have to do this, right? There's something called an alternative file within this overall project, right? So if we just undo that, if we come over to File, come down to Project Alternatives, what we can do is we can come across to New Alternative. And by clicking this, what we're going to do is we're going to create a file within this main project, right? So within this main window here, this main project file, it's going to create an alternative for you, which you're going to name. So let's do that now. So let's go ahead and click New Alternative. And then Logic says we'll give this alternative a name, right? So we'll call this, so this is a synthwave track that I've been doing. So we'll just call it Synthwave for Alt. Okay, and then it'll ask you, well, what do you want to do with the current, file that you're working on, this current project here? So this is everything in the background, right? Now I don't want to change anything, but if you did, you'd obviously click Save. I'm going to click Don't Save because there's nothing I want to change, so I just do that. Now, if you come and have a look here at the very top, you'll notice that the project is now called Synthwave 4, which is the original project name. And then next to it, Synthwave 4 Alt. So this tells you that you're in, you're currently working in, there's two projects in this file that you've saved, okay? So Synthwave 4 is the original, Synthwave 4 Alt is what we're working in now, okay? So now if I go ahead and I delete all of this, this whole section, and then click Save, so Command S, and then, I'm working through this and I think, yeah, this is great. And then a week later I go, you know what, I really wish I'd kept that original file. What you can actually do is come back to File, go down to Project Alternatives, and this here is the original file, right? And this is the one that we're currently working in. So if you are, unsure, hang on, am I in the original file or a different alternative? Just come back into File and just have a quick check, and it's the ticked one. Okay, so let's go back to Synthwave 4, so the original project. Just wait for it to load. Okay, now as you can see already, this whole section that I deleted is here again. So now you can see how useful this might be. So now generally, I mean, how often you might use this will depend on maybe what kind of stuff you're producing. But if you're, maybe you've got a version of a song which you want like a very synthy version, and then you want an acoustic version, but the lyrics and the actual, vocals aren't going to change, and maybe the drums stay the same, that kind of thing. This can be a really, really helpful way of testing that out and seeing how that works. Anyway, so just a bit of a tangent on that one, but it's a really useful thing to know. So, having two different save files, so two alternatives or more, you can add a whole bunch. Now, if you decided that you no longer want one of these alternative files, come to the edit alternatives, and you can actually go, come down to whichever one you want to delete. So let's say this, and you can rename it here as well. So I don't want this alternative version, so I'm going to remove it. Click delete. There we go, done. So there we go. Yeah, I mean, the main thing really to take away there is using this Command S shortcut, and really just kind of incorporating that into your workflow. The alternative files, really great idea. Maybe use it, maybe not, but useful to know anyway. Thanks for watching, guys.